And we're rolling.
We're rolling.
Phyllis.
We hit the red button. Welcome to Three Hacks and a Movie podcast with one of the co-hosts, Bentley.
Emilio.
And I'm RJ.
And this is where three hacks sit together on a table and talk about movies. Today's movie was RJ's pick.
Yeah, RJ, what did we watch today?
Double Indemnity.
What is this? What is this movie? What year was this?
1944.
Jesus Christ.
A noir film.
Yeah, it's like a noir thriller,
yeah.
really. Yeah. Man. Dude, yeah, when you told me this movie was like in 44, I just thought, weren't we fighting a war? Like, did we really have the resources to be making movies and shit?
We had to prove why the good side won, man.
Yeah.
You know, like what movies was Germany making?
Yeah.
You know,
Who
cares?
It was all propaganda films, obviously.
But yeah, man. But I wanted to show you guys a movie called Mom and Dad, which came out I think the same year. So like they're just like weird World War II movies. America was definitely in a weird place during that time. But this movie was very funny. I thought actually very like the dialogue was hilarious.
Wait, Mom and Dad or Double Indemnity?
No, Double Indemnity.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, there was even moments where I was like chuckling at it just because it's
so
I don't
quick.
think it was supposed to be funny. I just think we were kind of laughing at how they used to talk. You know?
I don't know. I feel like the way he's talking, it's like punny. Like he's talking in puns sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's pretty funny.
Well, I thought
like
that
Jerry
was when
Seinfeld.
he was like flirting with her. Like it's very. I don't know. He's definitely just trying to rizz the girl up, but it was working, I guess. Or I mean, we thought so anyways. But all right, RJ, give us what is your synopsis of this movie? What's like the 2-sentence or whatever?
An insurance salesman sells insurance to a woman.
The end.
A dame, if you will.
If you will.
A Boyd.
And, falls in love with her, and they decide to murder her husband for the insurance. And
they make it look like a freak accident so they can get double indemnity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we have to look at what double indemnity was, and apparently it's a clause in insurance where you get paid double a normal payout, but to get it, it has to be like a really unlikely accident, essentially, like something that'll basically never happen,
like falling off the back of a train.
Yeah.
Falling off the back of a train.
And that being enough to kill you. Yeah, because. What do they say? The train was like 15 miles per hour or something like that?
Yeah.
Like max speed was like 15 miles per hour. Like, oh yeah, you're not killing anybody with that, honestly, unless you like drop him on his head or something.
But they think it's a perfect plan at first. This is like, they think it's just the simple plan, you know? But just kidding.
It's a simple plan.
It's a simple plan, but
a simple plan. Yeah,
then it gets
like 50
complicated.
years before.
But I love this movie, man. It was hilarious. Just like it's one of those movies where there's the guy is talking like wisecracking, like there's 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, and you know.
I know. I was just thinking like the way I like thought people like spoke stereotypically back in the day is exactly how I was like listening to this dude. Like, yeah, she like this is what you don't get, doll face kind of attitude.
Yeah, I wish I could go back in time and spend a day in like around this time in like LA or something. To be like
LA noir.
Yeah, do people really talk like that, or is this just all something
like
that
movies kind of like
Like
it's kind of like what do they call like the transatlantic accent that like people used in the radios back then because it needed something distinct but that technically didn't belong to certain regions. And then about like the Zeppelin has exploded, the Hindenburg, you know, kind of accent.
Every other word this guy said was baby, and like it didn't matter what he was talking about. If he was talking about murder, if he was talking about food and baby.
I wish we could pull up the script and control F baby to see how many times he said it. No, but this movie, honestly, man, this movie was awesome. It's
fantastic.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fucking great, man. I mean, so this Double Indemnity by Billy Wilder, for like real movie heads know that this dude has a pretty sweet track record. He did this, The Apartment,
Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset Boulevard,
Some Like It Hot.
Some Like It
Some
Hot.
Like It Hot, which
and,
is like,
yeah, and The 7-Year Itch, which is also another Marilyn Monroe movie.
I'd say all these are like comedies. No way. He's very comedic.
Yeah.
Well, I know Some Like It Hot is a straight up comedy,
Well,
and then The Apartment is kind of
That was a comedy.
yeah, it was a comedy too. Yeah.
Sunset Boulevard has comedy elements to it. Like I feel like in the dialogue, the dialogue especially is just like very funny.
It's listed as a black comedy.
Oh yeah.
Which I can see.
Sunset Boulevard.
Okay, I need to watch that. Yeah, I still haven't seen it yet. But yeah, dude. So who are the actors in this movie?
Who's that?
No one I could really name, but they're all
MacMurray.
very great.
Fred MacMurray,
And
who
Barbara Stanwyck are like the main two characters.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
And it's about an insurance salesman, but it might as well be about like a private eye investigator in a way. It like feels like one of those like crime noir movies, you know, playing cat and mouse, following.
Yeah. When the
Very exciting.
After the crime had happened, the I guess was it the boss of the insurance company?
Keys. No, not Keys. Not Keys.
No, it was Keys.
Yeah, Keys. Yeah,
because it was the
He's
guy
one
that,
who's like putting everything together.
right. Yeah, he said.
He's like in charge of the sales department. It kind of seems like. Oh no, he's in claims.
Claims,
He's like the
yeah.
Claims adjuster. Yeah.
He said something along the lines of like, the cops had ruled he tripped over his crutches and fell off the back of the train, and that was good enough for them. But us, like, this is gonna cost us a lot of money, so we're gonna investigate it. Like, the police were okay to just be like, yeah, it was just an accident, whatever.
Yeah.
It was $100,000 on the line. That's what the claim was.
Yeah,
at that point. It's a lot of money.
Because the original thing would have only been $50,000, but because they wanted to go for the double indemnity clause, it would have paid out at $100,000. And I thought that's kind of where like it fucked things kind of. This is where I thought, you know, whatever. Not Billy Wilder's character, the insurance agent. He
Walter Neff.
I don't know why I was blanking on fucking Walter. Even though they said his name like a million times. Yeah, because in the double indemnity clause there was something about like if there was ever like a train accident, and then fucking his or whatever the claims Keys pointed out, he's just like, oh, he signed the double indemnity clause with a train accident. 1 week later he dies in the train accident. I was like, bro, what? Like, are you serious? Like, that was stupid. Like, they just got greedy. They should have just gone for the regular $50,000, which back then is a lot of fucking money. Because they were talking about like that Spanish home, which is basically a fucking mansion, was like $33,000 or something. So
right. Maybe just for the renovations, though. I don't know.
I mean, either way, dude. Like,
or the whole house.
$50,000 back then, it was a shit.
Yeah,
ton
that's
of money.
crazy.
I mean, that's a lot now.
In that area too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes place like kind of like in Hollywood. A lot of the movie. It's one of those California.
Yeah, they pointed.
It's near
out
Hollywood,
right? The Hollywood Bowl was in one of the scenes.
I think he said like the house is like on Los Feliz Boulevard, which
Talk
is
about
like,
Olive.
What?
Olive Avenue or Olive Street.
I heard Los Feliz. Which
Yeah,
is like,
I heard
which
that
I hate
too.
it's like Los Feliz, but they call it Los Feliz in LA because
Bunch of white boys in the 40s, man. You have to cut them a little bit of
I
slack.
like how they're like, oh, we'll give all these fucking streets and towns like Spanish names, but we're not gonna pronounce it correctly. Like Los Angeles, it's Los Angeles.
Yeah, we're never gonna pronounce that properly.
They didn't even try. But yeah, dude. So yeah, I mean that's what we really saw, I guess. And then you even hear things like Palo Alto in the 40s because they were talking about going to San Francisco, and he was like, oh yeah, like
well, Stanford. That's where Stanford is.
Stanford, yeah, exactly. So yeah, Palo Alto, I guess, has always been a little poppin' town. Yeah, dude, this movie was sick, dude. I thought it was probably one of the greatest definitions I've ever seen of a noir or like a thriller almost. And I feel like it's a different kind of thriller too, because instead of the person like trying to figure out the crime, we're watching it from like the criminal's perspective, right?
Right.
So, I don't know. I always enjoy those stories a little bit more. So I just thought it was so fucking cool to get that kind of perspective.
It's almost like what I envisioned, like noir movies from the 40s and 50s being like before I ever saw this movie. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, wow, this is like exactly how I envisioned it.
Yeah.
This movie has the perfect like unraveling of their guilt kind of coming apart, you know? Like they have this perfect plan of like killing this guy, getting the claim. but like slowly, like piece by piece, like the whole plan falls apart or whatever. And he even like talks about like he just goes out for a walk and he's just like, all of a sudden, I just felt like I was a dead man walking or whatever.
I couldn't hear my footsteps anymore.
Couldn't hear my footsteps. And as soon as that happens, it's like little tiny things happen that just kind of like reveal that it was them that did it.
Yeah, dude.
That was
I actually thought that was such a cool line when he's just like, and all of a sudden I couldn't hear my footsteps anymore or whatever. And then, I mean, we've all like, you know, done the wrong thing in life. And sometimes we even thought like, damn, maybe I just did the wrong thing. And I think they really captured that well, where you felt that he just like fucked up and he probably ever even considered doing this. And yeah, it's such a classic tale of man immediately falls in love with a woman and
Sims for
like,
woman.
we'll do anything for her kind of situation, which is so fucking stupid.
He like falls in love with her immediately too. He just goes to her house to do some sort of claim.
Yeah, he does the whole because he's throughout the whole movie he's pretty much confessing to his crimes into a
right. That's like the running thread throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, an old recording.
Like their version of a dictaphone from like the fucking 40s or whatever.
Right. So throughout the entire movie, he's telling this story, and then it's intercut with scenes from the movie.
Yeah, because that is the opening shot, right? Like he's like stumbling into his office, and he gets the recorder ready, and he starts talking about it. And he's like, "Keys, listen up,"
Yeah, within the first like 3 minutes of the film, he's admitting that he killed somebody, and like this is how it happened.
Yeah, he's like, "My name is this. I do this. I'm not married. I don't have kids," and which I like because it gives a little bit more intrigue in the story. Because obviously the whole movie you're seeing like the crime happen from beginning to end, but the movie starts with him admitting the crime. So obviously something goes wrong, because it's like, why else would he be recording his confession essentially?
Right.
And you see something's wrong with him because I think
he's sweating.
His left arm is like not in use. Like he's not using it at all. He's doing everything with his right hand. So like something happened to his left arm. You don't know what exactly yet, but something's wrong. And but yeah, dude, I fucking love this. I love how he's just like when he first meets Phyllis, and he sees a beautiful girl in a towel, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna throw my whole life away for this."
She's the femme fatale of the movie for those Phyllis.
And, because she wears an anklet, so he's got a foot fetish.
You kept mentioning the anklet.
Anklets are probably in then, it's like to the 2000s with the pinky ring.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever, the toe ring.
The toe rings.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was just in the 40s.
So you can tell this is one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite movies.
Probably.
We gotta look up. Quentin Tarantino talks about double indemnity.
Yeah, I wonder what his opinion is.
Phyllis Dietrichson, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it. Dietrichson's character.
So like the main character Walter, right? He's the insurance salesman.
Yeah.
He him and this dame make this plan to like kill her husband. So he goes into their house. Well, they're both there, and like he gets him to sign it like an insurance claim without him even knowing that he's signing it. He's like tricking him basically.
Right.
And that's a big. Yeah.
He did under the guise that he was just renewing his insurance policy because he was trying to get him because he needed to get an accident policy where like if he died in an accident, the wife will get money, because his wife admits to him before they like hatch this plan or whatever. She admits to him that she's not even in the life insurance policy. Like if he dies, all the money is just gonna go to her stepdaughter, which she hates for whatever reason.
It's not her daughter.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yes.
Good thing she never had a kid, dude, because she probably would hate her too. Hate him her too, man. This girl, like, she's just cold-hearted, dude. Like, she's one of the most cold-hearted fucking characters in the movie. Honestly,
but that hairdo though, it kind of makes up for it. You saw like those bangs, they're kind of bobbing.
Yeah,
never trust a girl with bangs, dude.
Always evil, man.
Dude, a girl
even back then.
Bangs, everyone knows this. A girl with bangs is going through it, dude. You need to leave her alone. Like, she's in her toxic era and she's got the bangs out, bro.
Unless it's like Winona Ryder, I guess. She's like the innocent bang having.
Exception to every rule, but yeah. it's man, yeah, dude, this fucking movie, man. So yeah, he meets this girl, he starts rizzing her up. He was very smooth with it. I don't remember like any line specifically that he said,
Yeah.
but
Every guy in these movies is smooth. you
yeah,
know,
but
like-
they were having a really good back and forth with the flirting, and I was just like, okay, Walter, I see you, like, damn, like, okay, and then whatever. So they stop talking, and then he comes back like one more time to talk to her, and he's like, I love you, doll. Like, I love you, baby. Like the second meeting that he admits that he loves her. She's like, I love you too, Walter. And I was like, oh, this is gonna end fucking terribly. Like you just already know.
Well, you already knew because he admitted it in the first.
No,
3 minutes.
bro, I cut that scene, and I can still tell you, like, bro, anytime like a character immediately falls in love with another person, like at first sight, whatever, I don't know, you just know it's gonna be a fucking disaster.
Mhm.
Oh man, but dude, Walter is, I mean, his plan for the day, like for back in the day, because he obviously like in today's world it would be way harder to fucking pull off, but he really thought out this plan. So
And it did sound like it would be all right.
It sounded like he put it together pretty fast too. So I'm like, okay, he either has thought about this before and was got like, oh, something like, if I ever was in an opportunity where I like wanted to get on an insurance scam with a dame, this is how I would do it. And
The major flaw with his plan is that he is basically the guy who goes like on the train in front of a bunch of witnesses, or whatever. So like they could easily tell it's the insurance salesman who's like committing the crime, because he's the one who does it on the train.
But the only thing, like, with this specific plan, you couldn't use another person because that's another liability.
True.
Right?
You could use makeup though, or a Ronald Reagan mask or something. Like that. A different era.
Ronald Reagan mask.
He was probably an actor at that point. I don't know. Was he?
Both Bubbles.
Wait, when was he
or
president?
whatever.
70s, right?
Bozo.
He was president in the 80s.
80s,
Oh,
yeah.
the 80s. Oh, no. So he wasn't an actor until like the 60s.
Yeah, mid 50s,
60s,
okay.
40s. Yeah, maybe late 40s. But
yeah, something like that.
But like part of the plan is that the insurance salesman like goes on the train pretending to be the husband to throw himself off the train, but it's like he's not even like wearing a fake nose or like anything. He's
No,
just like
He's just wearing a fedora.
He's wearing a fedora. It's kinda dark.
The brim's pulled over his eyes, and he's keeping his head down.
Yeah, and they
very risky.
They tried to do a lot to make sure that like no one saw his face, because when the train workers were trying to help him, she's like, oh no, he doesn't like to be held, like he just wants to do it himself or whatever.
Right.
So like, yeah, they don't get that face to face. And then obviously best case scenario, and he probably maybe would have gotten away with it too if there wasn't that dude already waiting at the end of the train car or whatever.
Right, already sitting out on the observation cart, smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the only hiccup in the plan.
Yeah, and then if it wasn't for that, there was a good chance he would have gotten away with it. But then, as we learned later, he probably wouldn't have gotten away with it for another reason.
the statistical likelihood of someone dying falling off of a train is pretty
Yeah,
like
right.
I didn't think about that, but just that's kind of unlikely.
Yeah, like
It's-
falling off the train and then like cracking your neck. So
Yeah.
you literally. Yeah, because there was a few problems. Because they said like he tripped over his crutches, right, or something like that.
Right, that's what they thought.
Yeah, like tripped over his crutches and fell off the back of the train that was going like 15 miles per hour. And then just so many things had to land. You basically had to land on your head for that to happen. And you're also like, what's up with your arms? Like you couldn't catch yourself. Like why did you just? I don't know. like you didn't do anything.
One of the things I was kind of confused about, maybe one of you boys could help me figure it out, is they basically kill the husband before they go on the train.
Right.
But they never show it, right?
Yeah.
They never show, which kind of confused me. I was like, wait, is he still alive? Like, what happened?
Nah, yeah, but I think back in the day, or I mean, depending on the rating, they just really
Couldn't show a murder.
They couldn't show the violence like that at all. That wasn't really a thing.
Yeah, that. And then also they had to drag his body onto the train tracks as part of the plan.
Yeah, because she pulled up
afterwards.
she was like, yeah, she pulled up in her car like on the side of the train tracks a little
right where he falls off.
like a little further, or where he's supposed to fall off.
Yeah.
Right?
And then they'd like drag his they get his like hat and his like crutches, throw him on there. Then they drag his body and put him on the train tracks, but they never show that either.
Right.
So
yeah, they don't. Yeah.
So I was like kind of confused about that too, but I feel like that's just censorship back then or something.
They were very strict about like what you can and can't show, and violence was like really like a boo, like oh, you can't show that because that's gonna give people ideas or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, so I just think it's like for the time,
Right.
And then later, we'll talk about this later, but real quick, like, so someone does get shot later in the movie, and you don't even really see it, like, he
Yeah.
just like reacts to it, but you don't like see the gun go off. You don't
No.
even see him bleeding right away. Like,
Mhm.
it's not till later where you see like a blood spot, and then that's about it. Like, that's the
Yeah,
the
dude.
next scene extent of it. So yeah, they just really did not like to show violence back then.
It's not until the 70s
It
that you
really
would get
hasn't.
the blood gushing out and falling off.
Yeah, it's definitely in the late '60s. It's the age of new Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like,
Midnight Cowboy and shit.
Postmodernism.
yeah.
I don't know,
Midnight
it's
Cowboy. I always remember Easy Riders, considered one of the first ones. That was
right,
like 68,
right.
69.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah,
Scorsese.
So, real quick, dude. So Walter's plan, man, I really like how they kind of showed like every aspect of the plan, like how he's like, oh, I left my notebook or my agenda back on the desk so I have an excuse to like go back to it or whatever. And then there was like he's like I snuck out, or like I made sure that the guy who works in the garage saw me or
He
whatever.
puts little
He's like,
pieces of paper on his alarms or
dude,
something.
that was like,
So-
I thought I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, that's super smart actually, to make sure that no one calls or whatever.
there was
Yeah.
like a phone box or something that had little bells in it that rang.
Yeah, so there was a bell for the phone, and then there was a bell for like
The doorbell.
for the doorbell. Yeah, exactly. And he
Right.
put a piece of paper on like basically in between or like on both of them. So if someone did call or someone did try to ring him up, he would see that, and if he ever does get questioned, he could be like, oh yeah, I did get a call and I whatever. Like, so I was at home, right? Like, I guess he can prove that he was at home or something. Or
Alibi.
Alibi.
like,
Yeah,
he
the
really
perfect
had
alibi.
his like alibi.
No, yeah,
like, set,
definitely.
ready to go.
hmm
Yeah, so
He made sure the guy saw him. He's like, hey, I was working up there
Yeah,
for
yeah,
like 4
exactly.
hours or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
when he snuck back up, he was like, oh yeah, like I'm still working here, you know, whatever. Yeah, dude, his plan, it was, I don't know, dude, it was pretty brilliant. He really thought things through. I liked how we saw the entire setup, and then you thought for a second, like, damn, like maybe they can get away with this. And then steps in the world's greatest fucking detective, dude, Keys, whose first name I can't remember right now. I don't even. Barton. Barton Keys, bro.
and Keys, he
This
says,
dude is a genius.
he says that being a claims
Claims,
person, it's
yeah.
like being an executioner, a officer, a judge.
Judge during execution.
Yeah, like all these things. So
Yeah.
like, he's a master of like he's a genius
Bro,
kind of.
Barton Keys, bro. It goes Batman, Sherlock, and Barton Keys, bro. When it comes to fucking detective
Dude, he is
work, man.
Batman and Gordon, Lieutenant Gordon, and like he's all them.
Dude, I couldn't get over this fucking character. Like, I liked his character from the beginning, to be honest. Like, I just like the way he talked, his like no bullshit kind of.
No, he was a
like,
great
demeanor.
character.
And then his whole like, he's like, oh, I got this little man inside of me who tells me like when something's wrong, you know, or whatever.
The little man.
The little man that he's had for 26 years, because that's like how long he's been in the insurance game. And yeah, dude, Barton Keys, bro, like this character was fucking something else, dude. Like I loved his character, man. So later on, when you know they hear about the death of her wife, her husband, what's his name? I know it's Dietrich. Well, I know his last name is Dietrich or whatever.
I don't even remember if they even said the
Charles?
first name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
not even listed on the Wikipedia. It just says Diedrichson.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay, yeah, maybe we just hear Mr. Dietrichson the entire time, but yeah.
Did you say the husband?
He doesn't last long.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
you
who
barely
cares?
like see him, but yeah. So you know, they finally like get the news that like, oh, he's passed away, and she comes into I don't know. She goes to the insurance company because they have to tell her about what's going on with the claim or whatever, and then the manager of that branch is like, oh, I smell something fishy, but he doesn't say it's murder. He thinks it's like a suicide or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like accidents pay, but suicides don't. Like those usually, I think in insurance, especially like life insurance and accident insurance, like a suicide is an automatic. Like no, like you're not gonna get paid for anything like that. So yeah, so then she comes in with like the black veil and the black hat because she's still in mourning. She's like, oh. And it was like, I don't believe what happened here, Mrs. Diedrichson. And she's like, I don't care what you believe. Like, I'm in mourning and whatever. She's like really playing it up. And then I love it because there's like, whatever, like he kind of buys it, like, wow, like maybe it was an accident. And then I don't know if it's like the next day or whatever, but it like cuts to Walter and Barton in like in the office together. And he's just like, buying it. He's like, I'm not buying it, Neff. He's like, there's something fishy going on around here.
Yeah, well, it's because he brings up, Mr. Diedrichsen had hurt his leg, and he never filed a claim for it.
And he just got accident insurance.
And he just got
broke
accident
his leg.
insurance.
So he's just like, why didn't he file a claim?
Maybe he didn't know about the claim.
Yeah, he was just like, but he just got accident insurance. Like, and you sold it to him. Like, yeah, I sold it to him.
Very trusting of our main character, Walter.
Right.
He loves the guy like a son almost. So it's like almost kind of painful.
I mean, he even tries to like get him a quote unquote better job by being his assistant or whatever. He's like, it's a pay cut, but this is real work. Dude. Like he's like claims is where it's at. Not Diedrichsen. Walter claims is where it's at. He's just like, salesman. Anyone can be a salesman or whatever. Blah blah blah. I guess he hates salesmen. Or he likes Walter, but he hates salesmen. Is kind of like what I picked up from his little quote. But yeah, I love it. He's like, yeah, he didn't file a claim. He was like, why wouldn't he file a claim? Like he's like, that's very strange. And then I love how he just literally lays out the entire plan right then and there, because he's just like, this is what I think. I mean, it's just like, it's like if you murder someone in this situation, it's like you gotta do two things. Like A, he's either murdered on the train, or B, he was murdered before he even got on the train. Someone pretended to be him, and then he like fell off the train and took his place or whatever, and then that's where they put the body. He's like, and I like option number 2. Like, I think that one makes more sense. And I even like out loud said, I was like, bro, was he fucking there like during the planning stages of this murder? Because he literally just laid out the entire fucking plan like right then and there, dude.
Yeah, he was just like perplexing the idea or whatever, but it was like spot on what actually happened.
And then at this point, he thinks it's the daughter's boyfriend, I think, right?
Right. Yeah. Later we find out that
Nino Zacchetti.
Yeah, Nino Zacchetti. Yeah, dude. Because for some reason, because in the beginning of the movie, you hear that the dad doesn't like that she's hanging out with this Nino Zacchetti guy, and then like she's like, "No, I'm gonna go hang out with Anne or something." And I don't know why, because of the time, I thought like, oh, it's probably because he's Italian.
Yeah. And it'd probably be easier to frame him too, because he's Italian. Yeah, exactly. You know,
like they're all mobbed up. So I really thought, like, especially for the time, I was like, oh, it's probably because he's Italian or whatever. And then Diedrichsen, that's like what, German, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Or yeah,
Diedrich's son.
Yeah. Oh, and then that's like Scandinavian, like Jorgensen. It's always like son or whatever, something son. But yeah, so I thought he just hated him because he's Italian or whatever. But yeah, dude, fucking Barton, bro. Like when he was laying out the whole plan, I was just thinking, if someone like did that to me, I'd be like, bro, were you there? Like, I feel like I would have to kill you right then. Yeah. Because there's no way you just figured that all out right now.
All right, you caught me, Keys. What do you want? You want in on this insurance money?
Bro, apparently when you're like 26 years in the insurance game, especially like as a claims adjuster, you've seen it all. Apparently, like he's seen like murders, suicides, cover-ups, fucking like whatever.
It was the little man inside of him. He knew all along.
When you say like, I feel this concrete like in my stomach or whatever.
It couldn't sniff out the culprit that was like literally like under his nose the entire time. You know, even how strong his like inner man was or whatever, and still got tricked. But this guy's like the only good character with a heart of gold in this whole movie. I feel like the boss just cares about like the money and the claim and stuff. You know, Walter and the girl, whatever her name is, just care about like their criminality.
Yeah.
Keys is the one like solid dude.
Dude, Keys, yeah, bro. He's such a badass, bro. Like I feel I'm gonna start looking at claims adjusters differently, man. I was like, bro, these are real fucking detectives, apparently, man. Like the way he just put it all together. And then how he even said, like, he's like, oh, he said something kind of like along the line that like he's gonna bust her or whatever. And he's just like, oh, we're gonna have to set up kind of like a thing. Like, we're gonna start watching her house. We're gonna like make sure, you know, we're gonna see everyone who comes to the house, everyone that she's talking to, and blah 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 blah. 6 movies every insurance agent should watch. RJ just and number 1,
Double Indemnity.
All right, Cedar Rapids. Oh, okay. Alias, Jesse James. I don't know that one. Raisin in the Sun. Yeah. I watched that one. To Catch a Thief. I don't know.
What is this?
6.
What are we looking at?
Six movies every insurance agent should watch. Is this like 6?
Twin Peaks season 3.
And then,
yeah. Maybe that's why I wanted to watch this movie, just because we finished watching Twin Peaks season 3, and
part of an insurance claim is a big part of it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Kinda.
I wouldn't know, obviously.
Yeah, Dougie Jones is an insurance salesman, basically.
Dougie Jones.
Dougie Jones. Agent Cooper.
Such a great name.
trying to find this list.
Yeah, what the fuck? It's just like, it's like 25, and then it doesn't list the 25.
But like,
I'll continue reading for free.
this movie, yeah, like I said this
that,
before,
bro.
it really doesn't feel like the insurance movie. It feels like a crime, like investigation.
Yeah, well, I don't think
like,
it's supposed to be an
yeah, for sure,
insurance,
for
right?
sure.
Yeah,
But
it's
like that
definitely-
is what they're doing, though. Is like at the end,
dude,
like
it is legit a crime thriller.
right.
It is so intense, especially for the time. Like, you would think, like, how do you make an insurance claim into a thriller? And they fucking found a way, bro. Like, this, I know that it was based on the book, so whoever wrote this book, fucking genius, dude. Like, it's really, because the thriller, it's you're just supposed to feel kind of like, I don't know, like an intensity throughout a movie, and that's what I felt, man. Like, every time, like, you think, like, oh, are they gonna get away with it? And then fucking, you know, Barton comes in, and he's just like, yeah, I don't know, something's up, guys. Like, you're just like, is he gonna figure it out? Is he gonna put it together? And then, I mean, we look at the movie poster, it's them two. It's fucking Walter and Phyllis. But who do you see in the back? It's fucking Barton, bro.
Barton Keyes is just watching him. He suspects something.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I would have watched this movie just completely from fucking Barton's perspective, honestly. But I really like that it went from the criminal's perspective. And, dude, it was yeah, man. So Barton, you know, world's greatest detective. Sorry, Batman, you fucking lost that title. But I love
Detective, executioner, jury, and
jury, executioner. Dude, it was great. And then, like, I didn't really expect like a plot twist in this movie, but so I mean, going forward a little bit, we see, you know, Walter and Phyllis can't talk to each other because she's being investigated, because they're like, okay, no, something's up. Like, why didn't he file the accident claim? And then it's like, yeah, like something's wrong. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, and he also just signed like oh, he gets a double indemnity clause about accidents on a train. 1 week later, he dies on a train or whatever. And it's like, okay, yeah, there's like a bunch of fishy stuff. And then you see them, you see like Barton like slowly put it together, but he's letting Walter in on his like investigation, because obviously he doesn't think he could be involved in any way or whatsoever. But they're just like, oh, who could it be? And then they start seeing that Nino guy show up to her house every once in a while or whatever, and it's like, oh, they're in on it together. Like, he's the like, they decided to take her out so they can like cash the insurance policy and then like run away together or whatever. Even the daughter doesn't believe it either. Like, the daughter, like,
the daughter thinks it's her boyfriend too. Actually, she like when they're at the Hollywood Bowl, she think it's her boyfriend who did it.
She tells
Walter that.
Walter.
Mm-hmm. So like pretty much everyone thinks it's the Italian guy, even her own. His like
his own girlfriend,
girlfriend, yeah.
Yeah, and that dude was like just an asshole from the beginning, dude. Honestly, I hate his character.
So like,
what the fuck, dude? Like, why are you such a dickhead?
Walter could have. Do you think Walter could have framed this Italian guy and just gone away with it at the end?
If
he really wanted to.
Like, yeah, but
you don't think the Phyllis would just throw him under the bus, or do you think she'd like try to get away with it with
I think, well, I mean, later we find out that she definitely just tried to get away with it, like, herself, essentially. But yeah, so we find out the daughter drops some pretty good information where, because again, she's opening up to Walter because she thinks that no way is Walter involved. And she tells him, like, oh, before he passed away, I caught her, like, almost modeling like the black hat and the black veil, like she knew she was gonna wear it soon or
She
something.
was sitting in front of a mirror, trying on the hat with the black veil.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you dumb bitch. I was just like, why are you modeling your fucking morning outfit? Like, and then she drops even more information because we learned that her mother died. Or, you know, like that's obviously
Her
like,
real
why
mom.
her real mom died. Like that's why like her dad remarried, and that actually Phyllis was the nurse to the mom, or you know, to the mom. And then she says like she had like the same look in her eye right before my mom died. And she said she could like obviously never prove anything, but I guess she was starting to say that she had a feeling that she killed her mom.
Right.
Which I was like, and then like, dude, it started like slowly coming together. I swear, like the way I always try to picture like moments like this is like the detective from The Usual Suspects when he realized like he is Kaiser Soze or whatever, like Kevin Spacey, like he's like slowly putting like he's like remembering all these like little fragments and it's like starting to come together. You see like the fucking mug falling slowly, like that scene. That's why I always like think like these characters put things together in their head, and you can see like Walter's like gears turning in his head when he realizes like, holy shit, like she could have killed her, and then like, but she was probably in on it with Mr. Diedrichsen because they wanted to be together, right? Because they were in love or whatever.
Possibly.
And then like now she's kind of like doing the same thing to me. And then when she found out that Nino's been coming around, he kind of started thinking like no, I'm the sucker. Like I'm the one being tagged along. Like they're gonna maybe be the ones that run away together or whatever. And they're gonna
take the 100,000 or whatever happens.
They're gonna put the whole thing on me. And I was like, holy shit, dude. I was like, I remember I was just thinking like, this was like a nice little plot twist that I kind of like didn't see coming, honestly. I started more seeing it again when the daughter gave that pretty juicy piece of information up about her mom probably killed. That Phyllis killed her mom, you know, and then you can see Walter putting it together. Like maybe she killed him so they could be together, and now it's kind of happening the same thing. With him and Phyllis.
Right.
Yeah. Dude,
So you don't know if like
loved it.
what's the Italian guy's name?
Nino.
I keep wanting to say Gino.
Zarchetti.
Zarchetti. It's super Italian. Nino Zarchetti.
But yeah, you almost expect Nino to kind of like hop out, like in the final scene where it's the two, Phyllis and Walter. You almost expect Nino to kind of like hop out and try to kill him or something. Like you don't really know what the plan actually is or whatever.
I think the first time I watched the movie, when Walter gets shot, because you don't see who shoots him, you don't see the gun or anything. You just see him like
hear it.
Yeah, he closes some drapes and then he turns around and gets shot.
Bang.
Yeah, bang.
Just like
gets
goes
shot.
up against the wall.
I thought it was gonna like the camera was gonna flip back to Nino.
Right.
Yeah, I could see something like that for sure. Yeah, so.
But Nino's a good guy, actually.
Like
turns out.
Yeah, like the final. He's just not a.
He's all right.
Shit. Yeah, he's just kind of an asshole, honestly. But yeah,
Aren't we all?
Yeah, so Walter finally goes and decides to confront Phyllis because he just put it all together that she was probably gonna play him too. So yeah, he goes to her. You see her like putting a gun under like the cushion of a chair. So I mean, I guess she knew what was coming too. She's I'm probably gonna have to kill Walter or whatever.
Right.
And then yeah, dude, this bitch is fucking crazy, man. Like I could not get over this fucking character, dude. I was like, yeah, so whatever. Walter's like, he's like, oh, the cops are coming, you know, in a few minutes or whatever. But I just got to tell you, like, I don't even know what was he telling her? Like, because I don't think he said he was gonna turn her in or anything.
At the end,
They're just hugging and like kind of having a moment almost.
I think he was just telling her like I knew your plan all along. You're gonna like run off with Nino, like you're saying.
Right,
like,
okay, yeah, and then that you made me into a sucker, or
right?
whatever,
Confronting her about killing Lola's mom, the original Mrs. Diedrich.
Yeah. So I love that. Yeah, you see like, oh, I'm gonna close these blinds. Boom, he gets shot, and then he's like, oh, it's a lot harder to shoot me when you're looking right at me, huh? So like, let me make it easier for you. Still, Walter being fucking cool as shit. He's just like, he like walks closer to her. And he's like, here, I'll make it easier for you. And he just like slowly starts going to her, and he like grabs her or whatever. And then he's like, you never loved me, did you? And she's like, no, I never loved you until a few seconds after I shot you. I was like, dude, this girl might be fucking Latina, bro. I was like, that is like the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard.
No, the coolest thing that Walter did was
the fucking match.
the match.
Yeah.
And he did it multiple times throughout the movie.
Yeah.
He would flick a match and he would light it.
In one hand. Like
one-handed lighting it.
Literally like lighting it. It was almost like, I swear it was kind of like
David Blaine, bro.
Like picture like flipping a quarter. That's kind of what he was doing, but with a match to like strike it. Like I was trying to watch his hands to see how he did it, and that's like the closest thing I can think of. Like that's how
I saw Keys do it once, and I'm pretty sure
at the end. So it's very much a thing back then.
It's a strike anywhere match, which you don't really see those that much anymore because I think they're kind of dangerous.
I've seen those more recently, but yeah, dude,
yeah, pretty badass.
Yeah, so in the final confrontation with Phyllis, she's like no, like I didn't love you up until like a few seconds ago or whatever, and then
they kind of hug and almost have a romantic moment.
Yeah, like
almost.
He grabs her tightly, and then but she even admits that that she's basically a psychopath. She's just like, I'm a cold, black-hearted person. Like I don't feel anything or whatever. So which makes sense because she's already killed like 2 people at this point, and who knows, she might have even killed more people, and she was obviously ready to kill Walter too, so she doesn't care. Like she's definitely like a black widow or whatever I think is the term when you kill your spouses.
Bitches be crazy.
That's the tagline of the movie, honestly. But Walter grabs her in a final embrace, and then you just hear like multiple shots go off, and she dies. Like he pulls the trigger. He kills her. And he starts going away, and you see
Nino.
Yeah, like Nino pulls up, and he tells Nino like, Nino, get out of here, like whatever. Like I don't know.
Go call your girlfriend. She loves you.
He gives him a nickel, and he's like, go down to the drugstor. Call your woman. Call Lola.
Yeah,
buy a pizza.
Like save that nickel for an ice cream cone or something like that. Like you thought he was so cool with that line. I was like, shut up, Nino. You're not fucking cool at all. But yeah, he's like, damn it, man, listen to me, get out of here. Like he's like, Lola's loved you, she's always loved you, and then like she wants to be with you. Like go give her a call. So he like inadvertently like saved Nino's life and saves him from like a life crime essentially.
From the gas chamber at San Quentin.
Yeah, he kept referring to the gas chamber multiple times.
At San Quentin.
Yeah, I guess that was like the method.
That was a method back then.
Yeah, that was execution back then, or in California, anyways.
Even after 1944, I guess during 1944, they didn't get the memo quite then.
Yeah, we didn't know what was going on, on the other side of the world at that point. But then, so then we see Walter. He goes back to the office, and it kind of comes to the point where we were at the very beginning of the movie. You see him talking to his like recording device or whatever, giving his confession. Now you see like the blood stain, like where he got shot at, and you're like, oh, okay, so that's where he got it, is when Phyllis shot him. And then so he's talking. He turns around and he sees Barton is right behind him, like listening to his confession or whatever. And then when he asks like, how long have you been standing there? He's just like, long enough or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Heard the whole thing, I would imagine. From the very beginning. Just let him bleed out.
You actually see 2 of the workers behind him. Like, damn, like how long were they?
Janitors.
Did they get the whole fucking confession too?
Yeah, apparently the janitor was there. He saw the blood.
Oh right, yeah. He said like, he saw him coming in like dripping with blood or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then so he tells him like, he's like, I'm gonna call the ambulance. Like, why? So they can patch me up and send me to San Quentin with the gas chamber or whatever. Again, fucking mentioning the gas chamber. And then he's like, nah, I'm gonna. He's like, I'm gonna go to the elevator. I'm gonna walk away or whatever.
He needed 4 hours to get to the border.
Oh, the border,
which
right?
I'm assuming Mexico.
Yeah, I love how Barty was like, you're not even gonna make it to the elevator or whatever. He's just like, yeah, we'll see. And he just start walking away. He barely makes it to like the double glass doors. I like his line where he's just like, someone moved the elevator a few miles down. I don't know why, but I thought that line was hilarious. I was like, damn, Walter, even on your fucking like verge of death, you're like cracking jokes, dude.
Then he goes to light a cigarette on like as he's dying and can't do it. He can't do it anymore. He doesn't have the strength.
Yeah.
And then Barton does it for him. And throughout the entire movie, Barton was keeps searching on like his vest, in his vest pockets for a match for his cigars. And then Walter's always there with
always lighting it for him.
Always lighting for him. At the very end of the movie, though.
Yeah. Oh, okay. He does call that. You can hear him in the background. He did call the ambulance before that, but then he sees him like dying out there. He knows he's not gonna make it, so he's just like, one hand struck match again, whatever, and boom, fucking lit his final cigarette, and then we get the end title screen, which is dude, that shit was badass, bro.
So you think he dies at the end for sure? You don't think there's like a possibility he just goes to an ambulance and just gets set to the slammer?
Sent to the fucking
And then he
chamber.
dies there.
Yeah.
Either way, he's gonna die.
I definitely like more the idea that he just dies.
Dies right
Right.
there.
No, that's what I
Yeah,
felt.
that's definitely like what happened, right? But yeah, man, dude, this movie was just honestly, I was pretty just intrigued all the way through, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I was just fucking Walter, because he seems like such a cool, like calm-headed guy, and the fact that he like falls in love with this girl right away, you're kind of like, oh, this is definitely like not his normal type of behavior, and he made that mistake, bro. Like he probably like broke his rule about like trying to, I don't know. He really had a rule about dating married chicks, and you know, and like, it was his fucking demise at the end.
He's immediately like thinking about how to get away with murder. Like as soon as he like sees how beautiful this woman is, he's basically like all of his ethics.
He's like, I would murder someone for this girl, and then she's like, how do I get an accident policy? Can I get an accident policy on him without him knowing? And he immediately knew, like, so you're trying to kill him, because apparently you don't ask that unless you're ready to get rid of this fucking guy.
I feel like they kind of could almost get pretty close to committing adultery right off the bat as soon as Walter and Phyllis.
Yeah.
As soon as they meet, it's like
they wanted to get it on.
Yeah, you can tell they're like about to break some like old archaic adultery laws.
Yeah, when she came out in that towel and she saw that look that he was giving her, she's like, "Oh, I got this fucking. I got this. I'm gonna get this guy to commit murder for me. Just you fucking watch." And she fucking did it. I will like to say, because I already said this about Barton, one of the world's greatest detectives, one of the best detectives, non-detectives I've ever seen. Like, you know, he's not a cop, he's not a detective, he's not a fucking like agent of any kind. He's literally just a claims
an investigator.
Yeah, he's a claims adjuster, investigator, whatever. And this dude is a fucking like criminal genius, man. Like the way he just puts shit together. And then I will also like to say, Phyllis is such a good fucking like movie villain, dude. Like, she's in, like, I don't know, there was something about like her, like how she went from this like lovable kind of like damsel in distress kind of thing in the beginning to like an evil mastermind, like cold-hearted fucking bitch. Like that the reveal of that I just thought was incredible, and I was like, wow, this chick is an amazing actress. And I just thought she's like one of the most cold-hearted people I've seen in a movie in a really, really long time at this point. I don't know. I was pleasantly surprised with her performance. It was sick.
Yeah, she was really good. I think from the get-go, from the first time you see her, you could tell like she's bad news, but it's like,
like how bad news?
How bad news? Yeah, like, you know,
like is she just a hoe? Like is she just like trying to cheat on her husband? And it's like, no, you can tell right away. Like, oh no, she's wants to kill this man or whatever.
Is the juice worth the squeeze?
The squeeze. But yeah, I mean, she even like gave the whole sob story where like, oh, he doesn't like me, he's never liked me or whatever. Like ever since we've been married, all we do is fight, and like, and when he gets drunk, he hits me. She said something along those lines. So she really tried to like play up the whole like damsel in distress thing or whatever. And then yeah, man, the like. Something about like the final confrontation between her and Walter, where like you know, he's telling her, he's trying to get her to just flat out admit that she set him up or whatever, and she's like, yeah, like maybe I did and whatever, and then she's like, I'm a cold, dark-hearted person or whatever. And it wasn't like a moment where they just, I was like, oh wow, you really just had to say it, but like the way she said it was just so cold, dude. I was like, holy shit, like yeah, this girl's like a legit fucking sociopath. And it was, I was blown, dude. I had like a big old grin on my face during that reveal, and I just remember thinking, I was like, she's one of the, like, I don't know, just like I want to call her a movie villain, and she just kind of like instantly became one of my favorite movie villains, man. She's just a cold-hearted person.
Yeah, she, like, I think Bentley said it earlier. She'd be considered a femme fatale.
A femme fatale.
Was that
Which,
Femme fatale, dude, with those bangs.
What's a popular femme fatale that we
Her, I don't know.
besides her? Yeah, because that's a pretty big like character.
Like Harley Quinn, I suppose, is like probably the most famous femme fatale character.
Oh yeah,
Well, yeah. It's almost she uses her feminine wiles.
Yeah, but it's sometimes called a man eater. Is a stock character of a mysterious, beautiful, and seductive woman whose charm ensnares her lovers, often leading into compromising, deadly traps. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she was literally a femme fatale.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
A
that's
succubus, if you will.
I was trying to think of like who are some like very known femme fatales, like examples of femme fatales in movies.
There's been plenty of like ones in Bond films. That I always feel like I associate femme fatale with Bond for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do set them up, so that makes sense.
Is Eve from Adam and Eve a femme fatale? First one.
Right?
30 the greatest sons. Yeah, I just want to see like some quick examples. Yeah, I know the girl from Basic Instinct, even though I never seen it. To Die For.
Yeah, I was about to say To Die For. We just watched that movie. That was a great movie.
Oh right, duh, Nicole Kidman. Yeah. Oh yeah, duh. Holy shit. Yeah, that's a great one. Claire Underwood House. I don't know about that one. I don't know that one. Jane Smith from Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I don't know. Nikita. I know that's like a really famous one. Okay, yeah, I was thinking Amy from Gone Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the greatest examples of that for sure. Selena Kyle from Batman, sure. Yeah, just stuff like that. Yeah, man, she's a great femme fatale. She's definitely one of the better, probably one of the original femme fatales in cinema, anyways. Yeah, dude. I'm really gonna think about her character a lot, honestly. I'm really gonna start comparing her to other femme fatales that I see in movies, and I'm gonna be like, but is she Phyllis from from Double Indemnity?
She's the archetype of the femme fatale.
I feel like
she even wears the sunglasses, like in the when they're in the grocery
Oh,
store.
Yeah, because
Right. She has like
together or whatever. Yeah,
the look and everything.
Yeah, dude, and the way that she plays up when she goes to the insurance company with the black veil and the black hat, and then she's like, "How dare you, sir?" Or like, be like, "I don't care what you think."
I wasn't even thinking about money.
Yeah, like I don't care if you pay me out or not. And I was like, "Whoo, girl, like, yeah, girl gets your Oscar." Oh my god.
I wonder how many people have seen this movie and got inspired in like how to commit like a crime or insurance fraud with someone else
this
or
movie
something.
definitely inspired generations of insurance claims or whatever.
What's a double indemnity? Oh, I want one of those.
This definitely inspired not insurance agents, but people to figure out like insurance fraud and insurance scams. For sure. Absolutely.
I wonder if insurance fraud went up or down after this movie came out.
Right.
Someone look it up. Jamie, look that up. My brother works in insurance. Well, your sister.
My sister works in
But she works in sales, right? Yeah.
Right,
But
yeah.
my brother works in claims.
Oh,
and I'm gonna be
shit.
like, bro, you need to watch Double Indemnity. It's the greatest insurance movie I've ever seen.
That's crazy if he hasn't seen it at all. It's like the only insurance movie I could think
also
of.
from the 40s.
Yeah, it's also
from the 40s.
He's probably never even heard of it, honestly.
Yeah, my sister isn't like a big movie person at all.
Yeah.
Like I could see his brother watching it because he watches a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
Like,
I could probably get him to watch it. I think he'll like it too. Honestly, I mean, it's a great movie just in general.
it says right here, Double Indemnity is a seminal example of film noir.
Mhm.
It's pretty much like
Yeah,
one of
definitely.
the first film noir movies. It's compared with Sunset Boulevard often,
which is also that Billy Wilder guy,
Yes.
right? Yeah, so that makes sense.
The opening for both movies are pretty similar, where Sunset Boulevard starts with a guy in the pool or whatever, and he's kind of narrating like, "Well, I bet you're wondering how I got here."
the American Dad.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he's
American
floating
Dad.
in the pool of Jello.
Yeah, Archer also did it.
Okay,
He
yeah,
also
that's
also did
from Sunset Boulevard. That's how the movie opens up, and then
Okay.
he's narrating, telling the story about what came of him.
Yeah,
But you already know that he's freaking dead in a pool, like
Right.
by in the beginning.
Wait, what came out first, this or Sunset? This, right?
This, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I wonder if Double Indemnity also did the whole trope of starting the movie with the confession, right? And it's like him narrating it essentially, or whatever, or him telling the story of everything that just happened.
Well, it's
you
a
know?
different. It's a different like.
Citizen Kane does the good, like it's not a confession, but it's him on his deathbed, and he's like talking about his last like confession, like not a confessional, but just your last.
But he's talking about his story, right, or whatever.
And Citizen Kane, it's like his like life. It's like his life story and his regrets and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
and that's what the thread is.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is more like specific, right? Because this is him just like flat out admitting to the crime.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas,
He doesn't do that in Sunset Boulevard because that's not exactly what happens. You know,
okay.
he doesn't necessarily commit a crime like this.
So like, but I know like obviously like we talked about it earlier, where like there's definitely been movies and like TV shows where you see like that's the beginning. It's like the main character, he's kind of like recapping everything that just happened, right? And
Given the exposition.
like what he's just recapping is usually like the crime they just committed or whatever, some crazy event or whatever. So I just wonder if Double Indemnity also started that trope, because that'd be pretty sick. Like, I don't know. That's like a piece of like history, right? Movie history.
Right. Another one that while we were watching the movie, Bentley pointed it out. They do like they have a secret like rendezvous point in a like a supermarket.
Oh, right.
And I've seen that parodied in so many TV shows and movies where it's like, oh, they can't meet out in public really, so they like have this one little part of the grocery store that they go to. They like talk over the aisles. And
They make it look
any-
like they're not talking to each other.
Anytime another customer or like a worker comes over towards them, they always like, you know, turn their back and get all quiet, and then they walk to another part and like,
Man, I was almost half expecting a fucking scene where like he has like a newspaper with like eye holes cut out. Just like watching what's happening.
Or to hear the Pink Panther theme song play while he's like snooping around.
Yeah, dude, man, honestly, I can't get over this movie right now. I'm just so happy.
Yeah, this script was probably like one of the best scripts of all time. Like this is like might be like a top 10 script for any movie. Just like how powerful, like just how well it flows and everything. All the elements that are introduced without anything getting like convoluted or messy. This is a very, very good story, honestly. Dialogue too.
Yeah,
was really snappy.
Yeah, so snappy. And again, like the way that they were flirting with each other in that first scene where they meet was so. It was like it was like watching two like flirt pros, just like really bouncing off of each other.
Up artists.
Yeah, like just two. I don't know, just two pros, like a girl with like her feminine wiles and a man with his kind of like confidence and just that kind of demeanor. Like the way they were bouncing off the back of each other was so natural. Like I truly believe that it was. Oh, what does that say? Phyllis Dietrichson, number 8 on the 100.
AFI Heroes and Villains.
Heroes and Villains.
Yeah, looking at a couple of AFI, the American Film Institute lists, because that's where I originally why I originally watched this movie. I was going through the whole AFI list of top 100 movies.
Not the band, but the American Film Institute.
Right. Yeah. American Film Institute. They had a list of 100 American films over the past 100 years. And I started to. I haven't finished them all, but I started to watch all of them. And Double Indemnity is ranked. It was ranked 38 on the original list. They did a 10th anniversary list, obviously 10 years later, and it was number 29 that time.
Does the ranking matter for like? Is it actually ranked in order of like best to worst, or is it just?
I mean, according to like historical views, yes, because like 1 and 2 is always like
Citizen Kane,
Raging Bull. There's like whatever on there,
Yeah.
The weird one is always E.T. I always found out like the weirdest one on
that
the
was
AFI
like 20
list.
something if I remember correctly, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But anyways, Phyllis Dietrichson was ranked number 8 on the 100 Heroes and Villains list.
She deserves that spot. Honestly, I'm curious to see who the top 10 is in general.
Atticus Finch.
Well, that's Heroes list.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They have them separate there.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was 50 heroes, 50. I thought it was like a list of like 1 through 100.
Wow, Hannibal Lecter, number 1.
Norman Bates, Darth Vader, the Wicked Witch of the West, Nurse Ratched
from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, right? Yeah.
Mr. Potter from It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay.
Alex Forrest from Fatal Attraction. Wow.
Okay.
And then Phyllis Dietrichson.
Yeah. Okay. And then who do we? Reagan McNeil from The Exorcist.
Pazuzu.
Oh, got you. Okay, as possessed by the demon. Yeah.
Right.
And then the evil queen from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs at number 10. Dude, Michael Corleone is 11, bro, from The Godfather Part 2.
Part 2, yeah.
So yeah,
That's
dude,
where he becomes a villain.
dude, looking at that top 10, bro, yeah, absolutely, man. Phyllis Dietrichson is one of the, I don't know, dude, I don't know, I want to say she's one of the best villains I've seen, but she's instantly one of my personal favorite villains now. Like, automatic top 10, possible top 5, honestly. But yeah, without me thinking too much about my favorite villains, she's definitely in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah, she's probably without a doubt my favorite femme fatale.
I would have to think more about the femme fatales I know, but yeah, she's
Ursula, bruh, from Little Mermaid. Come on.
Well, she's not.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
I was like, I think you need to be hot.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know about your childhood, Bentley.
I think you need to be hot to be a femme fatale. That's kind of
no, like every Disney. What about I guess they don't like Disney doesn't really make the ladies hot like fucking.
No, they're usually
101 Dalmatians.
They're usually like ugly and jealous.
Yeah.
They're jealous. I mean, that's the whole thing about Snow White, right? It's like she's jealous of Snow White. Well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't think the evil queen was ugly.
No, the evil queen is hotter than Snow White, at least in this new movie. This new adaptation, at least.
Gal Gadot versus Rachel Zegler or whatever. Like, no one's gonna pick fucking Rachel Zegler except like pedophiles, probably. Like, that's the only person I see like, choosing that.
Or CGI dwarves.
CGI dwarves.
There's no real dwarves in this movie, apparently.
Stupid fucking Disney. This is ran by idiots.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to say about this movie.
No,
I felt like we've
honestly, just like final thoughts.
final thoughts.
Great,
Yeah.
okay, greatest insurance movie ever made, probably.
Yeah.
And then after that, dude, probably pinnacle or whatever the word is for like the greatest example of a film noir crime thriller, dude.
It's the epitome of.
Epitome, there we go. Thank you.
Film
yeah,
noir.
That's the word I was looking for. The epitome of film noir, the epitome of a femme fatale. One of the greatest villains I've seen, and in like such a short movie too. Like the pacing was just incredible, dude. Like for a movie, like obviously like it's a movie kind of about murder, so you would think like the pacing is just kind of like just goes up the entire time. Like no, dude, it's just like a steady. Mm-hmm. It's like a steady heartbeat of just intensity, man. Oh man, I fucking love it, dude. Yeah, dude, I just genuinely enjoy this movie. If I had to rate it, God, I've been giving so many movies a 9 recently, but I gotta give it like a 9 point something, dude. I fucking love this movie. This is a fantastic. It is a film, and it is a fantastic
I'd give it 2 thumbs up.
Okay. All right, Roger Ebert.
I'm more of a Siskel guy. Okay?
All right, I'll be Ebert.
Final thoughts, Bentley?
It's a fucking fantastic movie. It's a all-time classic. I love the main actor is like acts very guilty in it a lot of the times, and like his acting is really good when you can tell he's like trying to hide the secret, but also it's like, oh, I've been caught like inside. Yeah. It's like the acting is interesting from everybody involved. Just like every aspect of what makes a movie really good is like hit on the nail here.
Yeah.
Even the lighting was kind of cool because there's a lot of like dark shots inside of the house, but it's black and white.
Yeah,
so
the
it's
black
like,
and white is always, yeah. It's I don't want to say it's like harder, but I mean,
it's different.
You can only do so much with black and white. So
it's masterfully done in every element.
I really can't get over how they showed how you show the suspense. You know, obviously there was like the first thing with Barton putting it together, or like just kind of laying out the plan in full, and then when you find out that Barton found the guy who was like the last person, quote unquote, to talk to Mr. Dietrichson, and he meets Walter or whatever. There's like a moment where you just think like, dude, when he walked in, I thought he was gonna be like, that's him. I was like, that's Mr. Dietrichson, that's the guy I talked to. But then I remember he says. He just had his back facing to me the entire time. So there's just so many moments where I was like, oh, bro, is this it? This is when when Barton's gonna put it together that Walter was actually like the mastermind or whatever.
It's like, oh, you look familiar. Did I see you over like ice fishing somewhere before? It's like keeps naming things.
Yeah, he's just like, you ever been in Oregon or whatever?
You ever been to Medford, Oregon? I'm a Medford man.
I'm like, just give it. Like, I was like a thing back in the day where he's just like, I'm a Medford man. I'm honest. I'm gonna tell you how it is.
I come from Medford, and in Medford we're honest people.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Again, bro, no notes. Fucking fantastic film. Loved it. Probably one of my favorites now.
And no negatives on anything.
Dude, I don't think I had like a complaint about the movie, man. Honestly,
all I'll say is that the plan wasn't the best, but they got caught for that. You know, like they were like, oh, no one falls off a train and like just dies going for like
no plan was.
They
perfect,
caught all of it.
But dude, like, bro, if it was like anyone other than Barton as like the head investigator
Right.
or whatever. They definitely just would have gotten away with it. Or, well, you know, obviously Phyllis still probably would have killed Walter. At the
Yeah,
end.
They
right.
just
I
would've
know.
went with what the police said as it was just an accident and just did the payout.
That's it.
And that would've been it.
End of story, yeah.
End of story.
And it is crazy to think about because you would think, like, technically there was no way that Walter was going to get away with it because if they, like, technically got away with it, she would have just turned around and killed him and did, the same thing to him somehow, like, got someone else to convince another man to murder him.
But maybe at the end of the movie, maybe she was actually like in love with him before he shot her. Like maybe actually at that moment she would have stayed with him, but then bang, he kills her because like fuck you, bitch.
She shot him, but like it was like a non-fatal shot, and then that's when she realized that she really did love him, and then they ride off into the sunset together. That's a happy alternative. That's the alternative. Yeah, that no one ever talks about. Okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah, 9.5 out of 10 if I had to rate it.
Yeah, bro.
It's one of those kind of movies,
bro. Like it's so high up there for me now.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I know I started like closing thoughts there and everything, but yeah, fantastic film. Loved it. I'll definitely watch it again. Probably dissect this movie even more, honestly. And yeah, highly recommend it to anyone who enjoys a good thriller, film noir, and a great villain, man. Anyone who can appreciate a fucking fantastic villain, I think is gonna love this movie. But all right,
they need to remake this thing, huh? They need to do a remake of this.
No, they don't. They need to fucking leave this movie alone.
flip the genders.
Shut your whore mouth. No, they do not need to fucking remake this movie. Leave it black and white. Leave it how it is. It's
Tarantino can do it. I'm telling you.
Just leave it alone.
No, honestly, this movie makes me want to watch some of the like late '80s, early '90s like erotic thrillers of the time, like Basic Instinct, Fatal Attraction, stuff like that.
Yeah, those are some big ones. Yeah, I'd be down, honestly. This makes me want to watch more movies with like where people say like, oh, this is like the femme fatale. You know? Like, I want to watch more like that specific genre of movies. But yeah, all right, guys.
Double Indemnity. Watch it.
Fucking Billy Wilder. Fucking home run.
Forever.
It's everything. Yeah, man, go watch it. Honestly, I don't care who you are, what kind of movies you like, just go watch it. It's a fucking fantastic film. All right, guys, this has been 3 Hacks in a Movie. I've been Emilio.
I'm Bentley.
And RJ.
All right, have a good night, y'all.